A single night was supposed to mean nothing until it began haunting every part of my life, including the parts one never thought she'd reach. The story opens with a narrator, a 22-year-old emotionally observant young man, standing outside a quiet riverside cafe just after closing. Warm streetlights reflect across the water, and the smell of brewed coffee still lingers in the air. He's waiting, unsure why he stayed behind, unsure why he agreed to help the cafe owner lock up so late. And then she steps out. A 40-year-old confident, graceful woman, the cafe's manager for years, composed, mature, with a steady presence that always made the room feel less chaotic. She walks out carrying a box of leftover pastries, her long black hair falling over her shoulders. Her movements calm, but tired in a way he notices instantly. Tonight feels different. There's a faint tremble in her smile, the kind of vulnerability she rarely lets slip. Her eyes look softer, less guarded, like she's finally letting herself breathe. He offers to walk her home, a gesture he's made before, but never with this strange tension humming between them. Her hesitation is brief, marked by a small inhale, and then she nods. The walk begins quietly, the night warm and still. Their footsteps fall in rhythm, and she's close enough that he can feel the gentle brushes of her arm against his. Each touch is accidental, yet charged. She talks about her day, but her tone carries something deeper: loneliness, exhaustion, a longing she doesn't name. At a crosswalk, she stops and glances at him, really looks at him. The moment stretches, softens. Her gaze lingers on the way he listens, on the sincerity in his eyes. It feels like she's seeing him not as the young assistant who works under her, but as a man standing beside her in the quiet glow of the street lamp. When a breeze pushes her hair across her cheek, he instinctively lifts his hand, slow, respectful, and tucks it back for her. His fingers barely graze her skin, but the warmth of her cheek leaves a spark that travels straight through him. She doesn't pull away. Instead, her breath catches, subtle but undeniable. They keep walking until they reach the front steps of her apartment building. She turns toward him, leaning slightly closer as if pulled by something she can no longer ignore. "Thanks," she whispers, but the word carries a gravity that feels too heavy for such a simple moment. For the first time, he sees the vulnerability beneath her composed exterior, the unspoken longing, the tired heart, the quiet desire she never admits. The night is supposed to end there, but she places her hand on his forearm, slow, warm, intentional, and the world seems to stop. No one is around. No voices. No noise. Just the sound of two people standing too close, neither moving away. And in that stillness, something shifts, something neither of them can take back. That is the night that changes everything. The silence after she touched my arm feels different, fuller, heavier, as if the world is holding its breath. She's still standing on the apartment steps, her hand warm against my skin, her gaze caught somewhere between gratitude and something deeper she's not ready to name. The street behind us is bright, quiet, washed in soft yellow light that makes her long black hair glow gently. I can see the hesitation in her, not fear, not discomfort, but a kind of inner conflict she's fought for years. She has spent so long being strong, composed, unshakable. But tonight, something in her is tired of holding everything alone. She lets her hand drop slowly, almost reluctant, and she whispers something about how she shouldn't keep me this late. Her voice is steady, but the tiny quiver under it gives her away. She's not asking me to leave. She's reminding herself that I should. I tell her I don't mind. The words are simple, harmless on the surface, but she hears everything underneath them. She exhales a soft, shaky breath, looks away for a moment, then back at me with a strange mix of vulnerability and resolve. She steps a little closer, not touching, but close enough that I feel the warmth radiating from her. Her eyes search mine, slowly, as if she's reading the truth I'm trying so hard not to spill. I've never been looked at like this before. Not by someone who sees more than what I show. Not by someone who sees the parts one try to hide. She tells me she had a long, heavy day. not in details, just the weight of the words, spoken like someone who rarely admits to needing anything. I nod, listening, really listening, and something about that makes her shoulders drop, relaxing ever so slightly. It's the first time she allows herself to be soft. And then, without saying it outright, she asks me to walk up to the hallway with her just for a moment. The phrasing is casual, but the tremble in her voice isn't. The night is warm, bright, quiet, and full of an unspoken pull neither of us knows how to stop. It's still innocent, still safe, but nothing about it feels simple anymore. Her apartment hallway is bright, warm, freshly cleaned, and filled with that soft scent of lavender she always carries. She unlocks the door with a steady hand, but her eyes keep drifting back toward me, as if needing reassurance that I haven't changed my mind about being here, about being with her, even if just in the quietest way. She pushes the door open only slightly, not enough to invite me in, just enough to pause in the threshold. Her long black hair shifts as she turns, half lit by the hallway light, the soft lines around her eyes visible in a way that makes her look not older, just more real, more human. She thanks me again for walking her home, but this time the gratitude feels heavier. Like she's thanking me for more than the walk, for the presence, the listening, for not treating her like someone fragile or someone distant. She's thanking me for seeing her. Then she hesitates. Her hand, still on the doorframe, tightens just a little. She looks at me the way someone does when they're trying to decide whether to run from something or step toward it. The silence between us turns warm, charged, but not dangerous, just full of everything we're too afraid to say. When a soft breeze rolls through the hallway, a strand of her long black hair brushes her cheek, and she catches it too late. It falls again, obscuring her eyes. I lift my hand slowly, giving her every chance to step back. She doesn't. My fingers graze her cheek again, tucking her hair gently behind her ear. This time, she closes her eyes for a moment, breathing in like the touch steadies her. When she opens them, the conflict is gone, replaced by something quiet and honest. She whispers, "Do you want to come in? Just for tea." The words are simple. The meaning behind them isn't. She's giving me a choice. She's giving herself one too. Her living room is bright, warm, and filled with sunlight-colored lamps that make everything feel softer than it probably is. She moves around with a familiar grace, confident yet slightly nervous, as if suddenly aware of every step she takes. Her long black hair falls down her back as she places her keys on the table, her shoulders relaxing just a little. I sit on the edge of the couch, unsure where to put my hands, unsure how close to sit, unsure of anything except that being here feels right. She brings 2 cups of tea, placing mine gently in front of me. When she sits beside me, she doesn't sit far. Our elbows rest only inches apart on the cushions, and the warmth from her body finds its way into the space between us. She starts talking about her life, not the usual surface-level chatter she keeps for the cafe, but the real things. The pressure, the loneliness, the feeling of being needed by everyone except the one person she wishes would show up. She doesn't mention who that person is. She doesn't have to. I listen silently, letting her speak without rushing her. Every word she shares feels like a small unraveling, a soft surrender of weight she's carried far too long. Her voice cracks only once, but she masks it quickly. When her hands tighten around her mug, I let mine inch closer to hers on the couch. Not touching, just near. She notices, her eyes flicker toward mine, soft, grateful, full of something fragile. "Why are you so kind to me?" she asks. I don't answer with words. I barely need to. She sees it in my expression, the respect, the care, the quiet admiration I've tried so hard to hide. Her hand shifts closer. Mine shifts too. The space between us grows thin. But she doesn't touch me. Not yet. Not while her walls are still falling. Morning light pours through her kitchen windows, bright, warm, gentle. She moves quietly, brushing her long black hair back with tired fingers. Her soft laugh lines more visible in the natural light. She looks different in the morning, not less composed, but less guarded, as if the night gave her permission to be softer. She offers me coffee, and I accept, watching her from the kitchen island as she reaches for mugs. There's something intimate about the way she moves, not because of anything she does, but because she finally lets me see her without the armor she wears in public. When she glances over her shoulder at me, something warm flickers in her expression. Not flirtation, not regret. Something quieter, comfort, recognition, a sense of being seen and accepted without needing to pretend. She places the mug in front of me, her fingers brushing mine lightly. A spark, small but unmistakable, runs through both of us. She feels it. Her inhale gives her away. But she doesn't step back this time. Instead, she sits beside me at the island, close enough that our knees almost touch. She talks about the night, how unexpected it was, how natural it felt, how confusing it still is. She admits she didn't sleep much, not because she regretted anything, but because her mind kept returning to the moments between us. Moments that weren't supposed to happen. Moments she can't ignore anymore. She's not asking what this is. She's asking if I feel it too. And I do. More than I know how to explain that we leave her apartment together, both pretending it's just a normal walk. But the morning is bright, the world awake, and everything between us feels exposed under daylight. Still, neither of us steps farther away than needed. As we reach the park, she finally speaks, slowly, carefully, like choosing every word matters. She tells me she's scared of this. Not of me, not of the connection, but of the world around us. Of judgment, of expectations, of the idea that someone like her shouldn't let herself feel anything for someone like me. I listen without interrupting. Her voice shakes only once when she says, "I don't want to hurt you, or myself." I tell her she hasn't. That what happened wasn't wrong, it was honest. Real. Human. She stops walking, turning toward me. Her long black hair moves with the wind, her eyes soft but searching. She studies my face, as if looking for even the slightest hesitation. There isn't one. When she steps closer, it's not a bold move. It's quiet, tender, a small surrender of fear she's held for too long. Her hand reaches for mine, slow, hesitant, and when our fingers finally interlace, the tension melts into something warm and certain. For the first time, she allows herself to hold me without pulling back, that we sit on a sunlit bench overlooking the pond, the bright afternoon making the water shimmer. She's beside me, her shoulder gently resting against mine, not by accident, but by choice. Her long black hair brushes my arm each time a breeze passes, and she doesn't move away. She tells me she's tired of living with walls, tired of pretending she doesn't feel things deeply, tired of pushing people away because she's been hurt before. And she admits, quietly, almost in a whisper, that last night made her realize how desperately she needed someone to simply sit with her, listen to her, make her feel alive again. I don't give her promises. I don't make grand declarations. I just tell her the truth. I'm here, and I'm not running. Her hand slides over mine, warm and steady, her fingers lacing through mine with certainty this time. No hesitation, no fear, just connection, fragile, new, but real. We stay like that, not rushing anything, not forcing anything. The world feels gentle for once, safe. And she leans her head against my shoulder, a small smile touching her lips, not youthful, but deeply human, deeply earned. When she says, "Maybe one night did change everything," I realize it's true, not because of what happened, but because of what we finally allowed ourselves to feel. Together.